In the world of cybersecurity, it can feel like you're drowning in acronyms, right? SOAR, SIEM, XDR, it's a lot. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We'll break down what these three crucial platforms are, and more importantly, how they work together to build a truly unified defense. Okay, just a quick heads up before we dive in. This is going to be a high-level overview. The source material on this is incredibly deep, so think of this as your crash course, the essential guide to get you started on the right foot.
And really, this all boils down to one fundamental question that every single organization needs to be asking itself. Because in a world where the threat landscape changes at a breakneck pace, are your defenses actually keeping up? So, let's get right to the heart of the problem, the modern threat challenge. It's not just about random viruses anymore. I mean, we are talking about seriously sophisticated, coordinated attacks that are designed to be invisible.
The kind of threats we're up against today, it's just staggering. You've got advanced persistent threats, or APTs, that can hide inside a network for months. You've got zero-day exploits targeting vulnerabilities that nobody even knows exist yet. And now, we're even seeing AI-driven attacks that can adapt in real time to sneak past traditional defenses. And this is where things get really tricky. Trying to fight these advanced threats with a bunch of separate, siloed security tools, it's like trying to solve a puzzle with pieces from 10 different boxes. What happens is you get this total storm of alerts, your response times just grind to a halt, and worse, you're left with these massive, dangerous gaps in your defenses. But look, there is a solution, and it's not about finding one single magic bullet. It's about an integrated, powerful trio of platforms. So let's meet this security triad. All right, first up, we have SIEM. The easiest way to think about it, it's like the central nervous system for all your security data. It pulls in and analyzes every single event log, every login, every file access, every network connection from your entire organization. What it does is act like this incredible analytical engine, connecting all the dots to spot patterns that, honestly, you'd never see otherwise.
Okay, so if SIEM is the brain, then our next tool, SOAR, is definitely the muscle. It takes the alerts and all those smart insights from the SIEM and automatically kicks a response into gear. It uses these things called playbooks, which are basically just automated instruction sets to contain a threat. We're talking minutes, not hours. It's a total game changer for response time.
And rounding out our triad, we've got XDR. XDR's whole job is to tear down those security silos we talked about. It pulls together data from your laptops, your network, your cloud servers, all of it, into one single unified platform. This gives you that complete bird's-eye view of an attack as it's trying to move through your systems.
So let's break this down. When you see them side by side like this, it all clicks. SIEM is your analyst, focused on correlation and compliance. SOAR is your first responder, all about automating the action. And XDR is your lookout, providing that unified visibility across everything. So picture this. Your SIEM flags some really weird logins. Then XDR jumps in and confirms, yep, there's malware on that endpoint. And boom, before a human even has to react, SOAR automatically triggers a playbook that quarantines that device from the network. Just like that. And that, right there, is the whole point. It's how these tools work together that creates a security ecosystem that is, well, way more powerful than any one of them could ever be on its own. Okay, so you've got these amazing, powerful systems in place. But now you've got a whole new problem, right? How do you protect the protectors? I mean, these platforms become huge targets for attackers, so locking them down is absolutely critical. When it comes to this, the fundamentals are totally non-negotiable. First, you've got to implement role-based access control, so people only get access to what they actually need for their job. Next, you have to enforce the principle of least privilege, giving users the absolute bare minimum access necessary. And finally, for sure, lock everything down with multi-factor authentication on every single access point. No exceptions.
And look, this isn't just some textbook theory. There was a case study of a Fortune 500 firm that put these exact principles into practice and managed to slash its unauthorized access incidents by a staggering 40%. That is a huge, real-world win.
So, building on that solid foundation, we get to this idea that is completely reshaping modern security, the zero trust imperative. The core idea behind zero trust, it's actually pretty simple, but it's profound. Never trust, always verify. That's the mantra. Basically, it doesn't matter where a request is coming from, inside your network, outside, it makes no difference. Every single attempt to access a resource is treated like a potential threat until it's proven otherwise. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, first, it means continuous verification. You're always checking the user, the device, and the context of every single request. Second, you use microsegmentation to create little security zones, so even if an attacker gets into one area, they're trapped and can't move sideways across your network. And finally, you have continuous monitoring to make sure every device and user stays compliant with security policies all the time. And again, the results here really speak for themselves. One global telecom provider that went all in on a zero-trust model saw a 60% drop in incidents related to compromised credentials. That's massive. By getting rid of that old idea of implicit trust, they made it so much harder for attackers to do any real damage. All right, so where is all this headed? Let's take a look at the future of security operations and how you can build a strategy that's ready for whatever comes next. You can see it right here. The trend is crystal clear. Everyone's moving to hybrid cloud and containerized workloads. But, and this is the big but, look at that third bar. 2/3 of security teams are basically flying blind. They're struggling with visibility in the cloud. This is exactly why having an integrated, adaptable security setup isn't just a nice-to-have anymore, it is absolutely essential for survival. And, the next big leap is already here, and it's all about AI. Instead of just waiting around to react to an attack after it happens, AI-powered threat hunting can proactively search for the tiniest clues that an attack might be coming. We're moving from a reactive game to a predictive one, stopping threats before they can even do any damage. And all of this really brings us to one final crucial question you have to ask yourself. As technology and threats just keep evolving, is your security architecture actually built for the future? Or is it stuck in the past, fighting yesterday's battles? The choice to integrate, automate, and verify isn't just a technical decision. It's the foundation of resilience in this digital age. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.